takes, that's you. 3 takes, not me. 2 takes if you lucky. First take, stop me. 4 takes, that's you. 3 takes, not me. 2 takes if you lucky. First take, you got me.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Cobb and Dash Show. Marcus Dash here with my guy, Ryan Cobb. Big weekend for someone in this league. He's pretty much already been married anyway, but it'll be the third member, actually. All 3 members of the BL Plus who are married all got married in 2023. Big year for the for BL Plus, huh?
Huge. It's great. It's fantastic.
I didn't even think about that. You guys getting old. But yeah, it's going to be key. I don't know if I think only 3 members of the basement league got invited, but commish 4?
4, right?
3, me, you, and Roden too.
Yeah.
It's his wedding. It's Hodge's wedding, so yeah, he's already going. So yeah, okay, 3 members got invited to the or 4 got invited to the wedding. It's kind of key. Almost half the league. Of course, not everyone knows each other well, so he wasn't gonna invite the entire league. That'll probably be my wedding where everyone's invited to that one.
Good trades would go down if the whole league was there.
Oh my God, fantastic trades, especially with the groom too. You could probably actually get him going late to the ceremony, getting a deal with him if he likes it enough. But yeah, it was an interesting week. I'm still getting phone calls about trades right now. Cobb was one of them. Alex, I don't know. Everyone all of a sudden wants a quarterback. It's very interesting. It's the same guy too. So I'll be forthright with it, transparent. Alex texted me or offered me Josh Dobbs and Zach Moss for Jared Goff. You're offering me Charbonnet. We're gonna have to talk over negotiations. We'll negotiate outside the show, but interesting that I didn't realize when I drafted Jared Goff that he'd be such a fucking asset. And he's put up good numbers, man.
Yeah, I guess if I had Alex, Fields is down, and then CJ Stroud's on a bye. I have Trevor Lawrence, who's hurt or hobbled going into a Thursday night game, so I'll stick with him. But
the spread of that game went down.
Yeah,
it was. They were 3-point dogs yesterday. Now they're a 1-point dog.
Oh,
probably gonna play.
Yeah, he's going to play. But again, it's Saints defense. Is it really going to, even if he has a good game, it hasn't really been reflecting in fantasy. So I was just trying to see what's out there, not trying to break the bank. But I was in trade talks all day today with a few owners. But nothing came to fruition yet. So I figured, just throw out some other offers. So,
who were you in talks with? I was forthright about my stuff I have going on.
Yeah, you were. Actually, kind of surprising that you were.
I'm not a high cow. I'm the commissioner, dude. Everyone's out. All my stuff's out there for everybody.
Yeah, I think I've talked to 4 owners today.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2 came to me, asking about different people actually, which makes me feel good.
Okay.
So you can probably guess. I hit ZT up again, asking if he was ready to make some moves. He said no, he's good with his team. He's been saying that on this entire 4-game losing streak he has. Then always having I talk with Paul probably once a week about trade talks. We like going back and forth. We have great talks.
Yeah.
And then Alex reached out as well. We were in different ballparks on everything. And then I was just playing some Xbox with Hodge, just talking to him a little bit. Didn't go anywhere though.
Did he say he was coming on the show? Because I asked him about it earlier.
Oh, you did? Maybe. No. He didn't even mention it. I asked him if he was going to watch the show. He said, no, I haven't even watched one yet this season. I said, wow.
Good thing Roden's on right now. He can. I'm sure he can fill Hodge in on anything that goes.
Yeah.
No, but it is the Hodge episode. That's why his picture's in the thumbnail. But we're gonna go to Week 6 recap. So I have 2 different takes this week. One's gonna be highlighted in a second here when we do the low score chug. Newest owner started 2 inactives. Yagley started 2 inactives this weekend. He's paid $5 for each one. And he said he's not going to happen again. He had no excuse for it. And so that was one of my recaps. I want to grill him on that. I want to make sure it's in him, because I told him, like, dude, before I told him, I say, you're in this league, you got to be like with it, dude. No farting around. And it's weird too, because he does that Justin Jefferson trade, and all of a sudden he's starting two guys who weren't playing like the day before and hours before the game. So like, it's weird. But anyway, I think he'll figure that one out. But my other takeaway is how close the league is. It's like me, Hotch are kind of running away with the 1 and 2 seeds right now. Obviously Dave's right on our tails, but if Dave loses, that's and Cobb and Hotch and I still continue to win. I mean, we're going to continue to go up by 2, 3, 4 games, and we'll clinch the 1 and 2 seeds by my birthday in December probably. And then you got probably before that actually. And then you have 18 as of right now. We have 8 teams that are 2 and 4 or 3 and 3. I was doing a little math, and if certain things hit the right way, we'll have 7 teams at 3 and 4 on next week. There's a potential we could have 7 teams at the same exact record. And at that point, it's all points, and and that'll be the kind of the takeaway from that. But it's just crazy the parity we have outside the top 2. Top 2. It's pretty close, this entire league.
Yeah, we had the same takeaways. So mine was going to be that, unfortunately, it seems like the low score chug is going to be a lock every week, especially if Yags isn't going to be starting players. I have faith that he's going to correct that. I have faith that it was just I didn't see if those guys were like game time decisions or something, but that was a bad look. And then also being the low points. It's just, we've said on the show multiple times that we're excited to see new faces for the low chug. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I hope I'm wrong. I hope other people are able to have some bad weeks to mix it up and get the chug in there. But with how Yags' team's looking right now, I'm not sure that's possible. And and then like you said, league's super close. There's teams. Teams 4 to 12. I mean, they're all having they've all had good weeks. Have all had really shaky weeks, and I think maybe we won't, because I'm not going to list him in my pancaking rankings. But a guy like Tasia, man, I think he's going to jump up the rankings, man. I think he's 2 and 4. I think he had one really close loss this year, so he could be 3 and 3 right at this point. But now his team's in full health, whereas other teams, I'm seeing a pretty sharp downward trajectory. I think Tasia's on the opposite path. It's good to see.
Yeah, no, his team's firing all cylinders. And plus, there was also a trade this week between him and Hotch. Tasia's very close to doing it. Didn't happen because I think Tasia's betting on himself. He's betting on his team this year. Hotch is trying to get Cooper Kupp. Hotch already pretty much barely has any draft picks next year, but he was trying to use the pretty much last like good picks that he had to get Cooper Kupp along with a running back on his team. So Hotch came very close to pretty much buying him a championship this year. Not going to happen anymore because obviously the draft picks, you can't trade them anymore. Thank God, finally. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Tasia fares. Second year in the league. So, hey, man, if he gets to the playoffs, some guys haven't been in the playoffs in many years. So be a big deal for him to get in the second year after taking over such a bad team, by the way. I mean, you can't forget.
The rebuild's coming into place.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. He's made that team his. There's no remnants of CP on that team anymore.
Not even a little bit. Well,
it's a good thing, actually.
Best running back is an Eagles player, so maybe that's an homage to
That's
CP.
true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so now since we both brought up Yaglu's disappointing week, we're gonna show his video here. He just sent it to me a little while ago. He stopped at a bar just to do this, I think, because he doesn't have alcohol at his house. Good guy. All right. So here's Yaglu's low score chug from week 6, and he scored a whopping 61.04. I wish that was the worst score of the year, but you have the worst score of the year.
Fuck you. Wait, no.
Cheers, gentlemen. Sorry, it's cold.
Not bad. I also did not have the lowest score of the year. I did 69. So,
Oh, you did. For some reason, I thought you had a 59 or something like that.
nah.
Who has the lowest? Who has the lowest score? Is that it?
This is the lowest.
Are you sure you looked it up?
I'm like 90% sure. Yeah, I had a 69. That was as close as we got. ZB's had a couple 70s.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, it's the lowest score of the year right there. Well,
What happens when you don't start two people?
That's true. Because, I mean, even if he started two people in those spots, I think he would have gotten. Actually, let's see. So that was a tight end. Does he even have a backup tight end on his team? He does not. So you'd have to pick up somebody. Okay. And then let's say he defense got picked up somebody, got a 4. Yeah, it would have been close. It would have been close. Because even finding a tight end to get a 4 points, not give me anymore. All right, so we're gonna get to week 7. Cobb. Since you're not gonna go to the wedding, I want you to do Hodge's matchup.
It's only fair. I mean,
It's only fair.
Yeah, no, obviously, I'm going to preface by saying congratulations to Hotch, to Hoke, Tim and Taylor. Sure, the wedding's going to be amazing. Wish I could have been there. Unfortunately, I had other duties to attend to, another wedding. Honestly, pretty close to you guys, but it's going to be fun. I wish you guys the best, and I hope you guys have fun at the wedding. Dash, Stu, and Roden. It'll be a good time, but hopefully he's not checking the – well, he honestly – I guess it'll be on a Sunday. He'll be checking some fantasy on Sunday. I think he'll get right back to it.
Are they going on a honeymoon like directly after? I have no idea.
I have no idea. I'm not sure. But this is also a good week because I feel like ZT is one of Hodge's favorite guys to play. For better or worse for ZT, I don't know. Just they have some funny dynamic. I don't know if they've ever made a deal together. Well, maybe they have, but oh yeah, they did. ZT got Jamar Chase from him. All those years ago.
By the way, I can see an upset here, actually.
Yeah, no, looking at it. So quarterback going by position. Obviously, the Bengals are on bye. So this is a good week for ZT to be playing Hotch. Hotch should be he's either going to be motivated by the wedding or distracted by it. ZT's hoping for the distraction. But Lamar against Howell. I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. Lamar hasn't looked the best the last 2 weeks, but they're going against Detroit. I don't know what the over/under for that game is, but that should be a fun game to watch. Then now just starting Sam Howell. I think we've made some jokes about that in the past about there's no way Hodge would have ever imagined him starting Sam Howell ever. But this is where we're at. Lamar Jackson over Howell, even though Howell has had some decent weeks for sure, better than I thought he would have at this point. Amon-Ra versus Tyreek Hill. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. Amon-Ra, obviously a very good receiver. Tyreek Hill is just another level, probably the second most valuable fantasy player behind CMC maybe. So Tyreek Hill is the win there. Mostert against Stevenson. I'm going to go Raheem Mostert. I think the Buffalo versus Patriots game is going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be disgusting. If Vermondre didn't get that touchdown last week. Touchdowns are kind of keeping him afloat and some garbage dump-off passes. I'm going to give Mostert the win there. Mostert's been on a tear, especially since A-Chain got hurt. I think Jeff Wilson's supposed to be back, but I wouldn't worry about that right now. Kelsey versus Jonnu Smith. I'm going to go Travis Kelsey. Again, another game that should be fun, Chargers and Chiefs. But Kelsey is – I assume he's the tight end one right now. He's looking great. Barkley versus Terry McLaurin. Saquon came back from injury. I feel like he didn't look that great for most of the game, but maybe towards the end he started kind of getting it together, which is good to see. I think they're going to have an easier time this week than they did last week. So I'm going to go Barkley here. Terry hasn't really been doing too much, but kind of cancel out the Howell potentially because Howell is looking McLaurin's way a lot. So, but I'm going to give Barkley the edge there. Jonathan Taylor against Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to give it to Gibbs because Jonathan Taylor's going against going against Cleveland. That Cleveland defense is ferocious. Gibbs should have the backfield to himself. I mean, Craig Reynolds just missed practice today, so it's I don't even know who else would be there, but like Gibbs. When Demont's out, it should be Gibbs' show. We haven't seen that yet. This is what ZT's been waiting for again. So hopefully Gibbs does something. I'm going to give Gibbs the edge there. And then Darius Slayton versus Roshan Johnson. That's kind of nasty. I guess I'll give the edge there to Roshan. I mean, I guess it's kind of a crapshoot with Darius Slayton. He's put up okay numbers, I guess. I don't know. Well, Roshan's also in a concussion protocol still. He missed practice today, and if he misses tomorrow, he's not playing this week. So
he does have Pittman
on the bench against Cleveland, though.
You still got. I mean, I think they're gonna. If they're probably gonna lose that game, we're gonna have to throw. I mean,
if Pitt, either way, I'm choosing ZT's side of this. I choose Pittman over Slayton. I choose Roshan over Slayton. But yeah, like you said, I mean, I'm actually pretty surprised by the projections here.
Me too, actually.
That Yahoo's not a fan of ZT's team. They must be tired of ZT not doing anything.
They must hear you talking about it.
Yeah.
They're biased.
Listen, man, I hope ZT pulls off the upset. I just think the top end, like the QB difference, if it's like as big of a difference as it could be, I think ZT pulls it out. I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. I think Hodge is still going to edge this one out. Damn, this would be a great time to play Hodge too. It's just
I know. And if you think about that Tyreek Hill trade, dude, I don't know who would be in that spot right now.
If he wins this week, I mean, it's probably because of that trade.
It's true.
Is he going to start Tank Bigsby hope for a touchdown? Like, season up? Come on, Yags.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Hodge the slight victory here. I think it'll be close. I'm going to go like a 121 to 115.
I think I'm gonna surprise you right here. I think our guy ZT pulls out a dub.
Good.
And I think, I mean, I just don't like the matchups for Hodge. I mean, obviously Hodge is a better team with no buys, but this is fantasy football. You got to deal with buys. I think Hodge loses this week. I think the only spot he really, the only ones he really wins are Tyreek and Mostert. Barkley didn't look impressive at all last week. Man. I think every position besides those two, and even the Tyreek one, Amon-Ra St. Brown gets a lot of fucking targets, man. So it could be a Waddle game this weekend, and then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown dominating on against Baltimore. I'm just gonna give him that. Yeah, because Mostert and Hill are the only two he really has. But as far as winning this matchup this week, and I think ZT pulls it out. ZT actually scored a pretty good point total last week. He lost to me, but he still actually put 125 up or something like that.
That's the ceiling. That's just my thing.
It is a ceiling, but what's the ceiling of that team that Hodge has this week? That's like a 117, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 117, 125 Z Tizzle.
All right.
Yeah.
Expected.
Yeah, and then I get the 1 seed one after I win.
Nice.
You can see why I chose that.
Yeah. It's a good pick.
Okay, so I'm going to go my guy who I'll be – two of the guys I'll be seeing at the wedding this weekend. Stu at Roden this weekend.
It was a good matchup.
Oh, yeah. And also, I think Hodge got a lot on his mind right now. He's got the wedding to deal with, wedding planning. He's going to be forgetting about this matchup. He's going to sleep past the 1 o'clock games. He's not going to – this whole weekend's going to be thrown off by the wedding. It's fair, too. He's got a 5-1 record. He can do that. It's fine.
Yeah, it's true.
He can afford to have himself a weekend and not have to worry about fantasy.
Kind of like charity, you give the win to the people who need it.
Give it back to ZT. Okay, so we're gonna go to David Roden versus Stu. This is Tutu can Scoot versus Cubs IR spot. And I think it's funny too. Tutu can Scoot after he made that trade, but I think he's only started once since he got him.
Yeah.
This is his third week, and I don't think he's starting on his team anymore. Maybe another team name change. But okay, we're gonna go Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Chiefs are top 5 defense this year. Never thought I'd see the day where we would be a top 5 defense. We're not giving an inch to anything. I think quarterbacks have average of 6. We allow the 6th fewest passing yards in the league. Third fewest, second fewest points in the league. As far as defense goes, the Chargers don't look that good. Mike Williams being out at W hurts them. Quentin Johnson looks kind of like a bust. Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert's rapport has been great. But as far as Keenan Allen or Justin Herbert having a big game, a lot of touchdowns, I don't see it happening this week. And Josh Allen against New England. New England, your boys. It's kind of polar opposites, actually. You guys used to be one of the best defenses. We used to be one of the worst. Now it's kind of opposite. Now we're kind of taking the whole New England thing. I'm like, I kind of love it actually.
It was nice, doesn't it?
It does feel good. But yeah, I'm gonna go Josh Allen against New England. I think that's gonna be a big time one. I think Josh Allen will surpass Herbert by at least 10 points this weekend. Stephon Diggs versus we got stacks. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Keenan Allen and Herbert. I'm gonna go Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen gets a lot of catches. Okay, then we got Jaleel McLaughlin versus Zach Evans.
Oh yeah. It's a great running back battle.
I mean, is Javonte not playing or something? I haven't.
Playing, dude.
McLuhan has a role. He's a good third down back. Zach Evans, we have no idea. Zach Evans could easily be what we thought the dude from Arizona, the guy spent like $50 on him last week, Cam Macarado. Zach Evans could easily be that version this week where they just give the ball to Myles Gaskin this week. So I'm going to go McLuhan because we know McLuhan's role. And also he's a rookie. I think Sean Payton's going to hand him the keys soon because Javonte Williams looks underwhelming as fuck. McLuhan actually has some juice to his game. It's actually really fun to watch. I'm going to go McLuhan, but it could easily be a wash. I'm going to go McLuhan, a slight edge. Cole Kmet, Sam Laporta. Is Sam Laporta going to be healthy? And if he is healthy, let's go Sam Laporta. Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk. Man, I'm going to go wash on that one. Because even if it's Waddle's week, he's going to get like a 14 or 15. That's pretty much what Ayuk gets like almost every week. And if it is, it's going to be an edge to Waddle. But I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go wash. Christian Kirk and Nakua. What did Nakua do last week? Wow, there you go. That's a Nakua I was waiting for once Cobb came back. Got a 5 last week. Now that Cooper Kupp's acclimated in the offense, and Christian Kirk's probably would have been outside of week 1. He's probably been one of the most consistent fantasy guys this year. So give me Christian Kirk with the dub there. Brian Robinson, Jacoby Myers, 2 guys who have just been the unsung heroes of where they were drafted in those draft slots. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go wash. I'm gonna go wash here. It's 2 washes in this match. That's a lot of washes.
A lot of washes.
All right, so we're going to go to the overall point total here. We're going to go Roden with a dub. Roden wins. We're going to go Roden 134 to Stu's 117.
Yeah, I guess I think we're starting off back-to-back, having opposite takes here. Wow. I think Roden's stack is going to be better than Stu's stack this week. And I am worried. The Rams also brought in Darrell Henderson too, and he was their guy last year. True. And they could easily just give him the keys to the backfield. But now I'm gonna go Stu here because I think his stack keeps it close to the not overseeding them, but I think his stack keeps it close. And then I don't know. I think Cooper still got targeted 7 times. Jacoby Myers looks great. I also like Ayuk a ton this week. There's 2 weeks that I can recall of him having even bigger week, but Purdy missed him on just wide open touchdowns. He just seems always open. But I'm going to do here. Let's go 127 to a 120. 127 to 120.
Interesting. All right. So we're very similar on this.
Yeah.
I think either way, I think Roden wins, but it'll be close. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They're gonna be I'm gonna be right between them. While their guys are looking at each other, freaking like feuding at the wedding. I mean, guys, I hope they're not feuding at the wedding. It's supposed to be a good time for everyone.
Celebrating love, man.
That's it.
2-time champ, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Champ, but ongoing 2-time champ.
Yeah, loser. Um, so our next one, we got Paul at Dash. Yeah, you're gonna do this one because I gotta talk about my team.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the floor just a little bit, but yeah, this is a fun one. I was talking about teams that are kind of taking a different trajectory. Maybe it's just because of the. I mean, Paul barely lost this past week to ZB. He lost on the last play of the game to Waller. But I still feel like he's kind of going in the wrong direction a little bit as far as his team looks, at least performance-wise. Well, I guess I think other teams below him are catching up. And I think this is a tough matchup to walk into after losing such a close game, walking into a 5-1 Dash. But I do think his matchups are looking good here with Jalen Hurts playing against Miami. That should be, I'm sure what the over-under is probably over like 52 in that game.
For that game?
Yeah.
That is 52.
Look at that.
You know your over-unders.
Then you have Mahomes on the other side. Chargers defense looked honestly not bad against the Cowboys last week. The little suspect, but I don't know. I think we're gonna go Jalen Hurts here though. He's consistently been putting up higher numbers, and they're going against Miami. They're gonna need to score. I have more faith in your defense keeping the Chargers in check, so I feel like Mahomes doesn't need to do it all, even though he can. But I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts there. Mike Evans versus one of the biggest disappointments I think this year so far, Devonta Smith. He's been, to your credit, you were touting it all preseason. He's not this isn't a 1B situation. This is a 1 and a 2, and that's all we've been seeing outside of the weeks where he got the touchdowns. It's been pretty rough. Meanwhile, Mike Evans has looked great. But in this one, I'm actually going to go Devonta Smith. I think this is a get-right game for Devonta Smith. Again, against Miami, I think it's just going to be a shootout. So I'm going to give Devonta Smith the slight edge there. Pacheco versus Kamara. This is a great matchup. Kamara is going to get the W here, though. Pacheco's looked great, a lot better than I expected, a lot better than a lot of people have expected. He runs as angry as I've ever seen. But Kamara is back to being the centerpiece of that offense, and he looks great in the PPR, especially. Like it's not fair. So nice pickup there. Ingram versus Mark Andrews. This is another one that's at the surface you probably wouldn't have thought it was going to be that close, but I mean, Evan Ingram's been a great fill-in for tight end for you. I mean, I have him in 2 other leagues. I've been loving it. He has the trust of Lawrence. He's probably second behind Kirk. Calvin Ridley hasn't been doing much. Probably Kirk and then Ingram as far as the standings of Jacksonville pass catchers go. But man, I don't know. I'm going to give that a wash, I think. New Orleans defense is a lot better. I don't think that's mattered maybe a slight edge to Andrews, but it's pretty close to a wash. Let's go slight edge to Andrews. Metcalf versus Najee. I'm going to go Metcalf. Hopefully Najee comes out of the bye looking all right, but that whole Steelers offense looks pretty gross. We'll see if the offense coming back will help that at all. But Najee's I don't even people are saying Najee looks awful, but I also feel like he gets hit behind the line every single time.
Yeah.
I still have faith that he can be solid if they can start throwing to him too. I feel like they haven't done that because they have Warren. I'm going to give Metcalf the edge there. DJ Moore going against Lockett. I'm going to give DJ Moore the edge there. Even though they are going to have the backup, it seemed like they were still throwing to him plenty. And I think what was it, Troutman or something, the backup quarterback for the Bears?
Oh, Pageant?
Or Pat, yeah. Why did I say Troutman then?
Troutman. That's
Tyson Bagent. Okay. Whatever. Regardless, DJ Moore slight edge. I feel like they're just going to target him. I don't think they're going to be able to do much else. So get DJ Moore there. And then Is Debo supposed to play? I think they were hopeful that he was. Go against Jerome Ford. That's pretty good. Oof. I don't know, man.
Sounds like you got Paul coming in with the upset.
This is getting close. It's closer than I expected coming into this. I was just saying that he was trending in the wrong direction, but his matchups this week are looking pretty good. I might go just guaranteed production for Ford. Debo's had a kind of a disappointing year, but I will say it is injury related. We'll see how he looks coming back. And if CMC isn't a go, wouldn't be surprised if Debo is used more often in the backfield.
Good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so, man. I'm still going to give Ford the slight edge there. Wow, man.
Paul upset or my wins overshadow his 14
That's the thing
win?
is you still find a way. You've been scoring high every week, right? So like
Relatively, yeah.
I mean relative to the rest of the league, whereas I don't know, the last couple of weeks I feel like Paul fuck dude. This is tough. I think I chose him in more of the matchups, but I still feel like you're still going to pull out a win here. But it's going to be close, dude. I'm going to give like a 131 to 128. I think it's going to be close.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be real close.
Well, does he have any
I
money?
was very close to giving that to Paul because I do have faith that that Philly stack. If they don't show up this week,
It's over, yeah.
it's over. Yeah, I mean Jalen Hurts still gonna be great, but Devonta Smith, I don't know, man.
If it does come down on Monday, though, I mean, because you're saying I win by 3, I have Debo. He has Ford, Moody, and Bynum on Monday night. The Niners Vikings game.
Yeah, he doesn't have Ford, but yeah.
Yeah, 1 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's just it goes back to I just feel like the potential is capped for his team having to start the 2 receivers, DK and Lockett. So it's just if it's going to be a boom week for one of them, it's not going to be a boom week for both. In my opinion, at least. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great game, potentially game of the week.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
matchups, but this is a close one.
Yeah. So I do think it's gonna be a close game. Tomorrow night's a huge night. Kamara and Ingram tomorrow night. You also have 2 guys in that game tomorrow, so it's a big game for. And you have 3 guys actually, don't you? 3 Olave, Law in it. Yeah, you're not gonna be watching that game. No ball tomorrow night, I don't think.
No, not at all. Locked down.
So I think the Hurts Miami games would be interesting, but their offense does not look good. Philly, even though Miami's has problems defensively, I think their best bet is to slow that game up. You don't want to have a fast back and forth game. If I'm Miami, I'm doing what they did to the Bucks in that fourth quarter. I'm fucking taking 15 play drives and fucking mashing down there using what's his name, Swift.
Yeah.
Mike Evans versus Atlanta. I don't know. They looked pretty rough yesterday. But then Alvin Kamara, he's been awesome. I think if we were to redo the draft and knowing what we know about Kamara, even with the suspensions, I feel like he would have gone in the first round or second round.
Yeah,
100%.
Late first, early second.
Because if you look at those late first, early second guys, dude, like none of them have panned out. Cooper blows, Najee blows. Like DK was the only one that really what?
Amari Cooper?
Yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't really.
Kamara would go above him though. Yeah,
I'm talking my guy too. I'm talking Najee too.
Yeah. Mixon would have won above Mixon, I think.
Yeah.
Higgins would have won above T. Higgins.
Yeah. God, I almost traded up to get
Godwin, Damian Pierce, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, Cam Akers, Javonte Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson. Those are all people that went right ahead of him. And then it's Alvin Kamara. So yeah,
was he fourth?
So. He was a fourth.
Damn, dude.
Third. Late
third. That
sucks. So close
actually.
to great value.
I mean, if I am top 2, it's late third. I mean, it's a potential keeper.
Hey, ZT let him walk and kept Ramondre Stevenson. So
Yeah, well, he's got his own issues. But yeah, I think tomorrow night's a big night as far as Kamara continues to do his 20 touches, and he even finally gets his touchdown and does his 8 catches a game. Ingram continues to get his 9 to 14. Maybe he gets his first touchdown. But yeah, I don't really see the one thing about Paul's team we're talking about. It's great matchups. Dude, he's got no home run hitters on that team. There's no one who can just go off. That's why when you look at Tage's team, for example, we could see, oh man, that team's a tough team to play because there are home run hitters on that team. Yeah, he got unlucky the first couple weeks of the season and he didn't have Cup, but there are home run hitters on that team. There's no home run hitters in this team. He's got solid guys, and he also has 2 receivers on the same team. When was the last time you saw a team that had 2 receivers on the same team and actually went far in this league? I don't think I've ever seen that.
yeah, I have no idea.
2 receivers. I'm not talking about tight end and receiver like I had Tyreek and Kelsey. Totally different.
Yeah, unless someone had Tyreek and Waddle last year, but I feel like no one had them.
No.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, I don't think they were both on the same team. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, Najee's going to be a big one. Honestly, I'm actually kind of, based on what I'm seeing around the league, got Darius Slayton being started some places. You have
At least you're getting guaranteed touches.
Yeah, at least that. Who knows what Najee will do? I don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot. It is coming off a bye. They're playing the Rams. It's kind of a tough defense. DJ Moore, another guy who I'm kind of relying on. I don't know what's going to happen with his whole situation with this Tyson Badgett guy, whatever his first name is. Is it Tyson?
Tyson, yeah.
Tyson. Yeah. Who knows? But I think as of right now, it's enough to get me the dub without Derrick Henry, without Pollard this week. Yeah, I overall think the sky's the limit for my team, but I think this week I think I pull out the close win with Paul. I think I win 135. I think my medium, my mean's probably 135 a week. 135 to probably like 123 or something like that. Pretty good.
Pretty good, man.
So I'm going. The matchup I'm previewing is our guy Cobb versus Emily. This is a big matchup for Emily because Emily loses this one. He's one of those teams that'll be in that 3-4 range. And if our guy Cobb wins, he'll be one of these guys who's also in the 3 and 4 range. And these will be 2 of the guys in that top 7 that I was or in that 3-4-7, the 7-3-4 record teams. So here we go. Let's go to this matchup. Okay, this is also 4 versus 10 matchups. Right now, if you look at just the rankings, it doesn't look like it's a close matchup. However, like I said, if Cobb wins, we got 3-4s all around. So we're going to begin now. So Tua versus Philadelphia or Trevor Lawrence versus New Orleans. I'm going Trevor Lawrence tomorrow night. I'm not buying Miami against Philadelphia at Philadelphia coming after a loss. The only time Miami's played a tough juggernaut of a team was Buffalo. They got fucking dominated. What are stats? Let's see what the stats for that game. He had a 15 that game. So if you you got a 15 that game. And this is the first really good defense he's played since then. So yeah, and I like Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence will have, even if Trevor Lawrence beats Tua, which I think he will beat him. I don't know about how much. But I think it'll be a 4 to 5 point range because I could see it being like Trevor Lawrence getting a 20 tomorrow night, and it looks like his season high is a 21. So 20 for Trevor Lawrence and a 16 from Tua. I think Philadelphia's going to have their way with Miami this week. Actually, let me see what the spread is this week in that game.
Sunday night too.
Sunday night at Philly too.
Place is going to be rocking.
Okay, Philly's going to win that game. Spread's 2.5 Philly. All the people who are sucking Miami's dick right now are saying 2.5 points.
Yeah, they're trying to get everyone to bite on Miami there.
Yeah. Philly's going to dominate this weekend. I'm telling you, dude. And the under, too, by the way.
Wow.
If anyone wants the same game parlay that, Cobb, Dave, Kyler, when you can show me Kyler. So, yeah, let's get back to brass tacks here. So, Trevor Lawrence over 2, even if it's a 3 to 4 point buffer. I like that. Zay Flowers, Drake London. Drake London's actually coming around, man. Damn.
Yeah.
But I still like Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers can be more consistent. Tampa Bay, you're at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just got embarrassed last week. I think Tampa Bay has a better defense than what they showed. They hung around that game till the fourth quarter. They kept Detroit kind of in check, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. They were throwing bombs to Jamo. But Zay Flowers, I think, is a safer bet to take as far as having because his floor is so high. I think it's too boomer bust with Drake London. I think we're gonna see things coming around that Atlanta team. So Zay Flowers gets the win for me there. Travis Etienne, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones started off so key. Like that week 1, he looked so good. And then, I mean, talk about the wheels falling off. The fact that, like, he's still, like, not even ready to go and they had a bye week. And on top of that, then they also have, like, a 10-day they had a Thursday night game their last time they played, too. So, like, or no, they had the Monday night game after that. But still, though, I mean, Jesus, he's been off for fucking 2 weeks. Jesus Christ. I like Etienne, man. There's something about Travis Etienne. This kid's special. I wanted him. I got Najee instead. Pretty upset by that. God, my team would be so key if I had freaking Etienne. But that's it. That's what it is. One guy off. But I also wanted T. Higgins too, and I almost traded up for him. So you can't always trust your gut on that kind of stuff. But yeah, I like Etienne. Aaron Jones will probably play, but Etienne has been so consistent. T.J. Hockenson and Michael Mayer. I've always been more of a Halloween guy, but like Hockenson, man. Hawkinson's going to come in there and do his thing against San Francisco. He's going up against the other tight end U guy and George Kittle this week. He's going to want to impress the more senior tight end guys. Hawkinson's going to have a good game. He's probably been the most consistent guy, even more consistent than Kelsey this year, even though Kelsey, is the tight end 1 right now. But Hawkinson and Ingram and Laporta have been the most consistent guys this year. So, yeah, I'm going to go Hawkinson there. Michael Mayer, I mean, has he done anything? Yeah, 10.
He
Jesus.
dominated us. So stupid.
Did he dominate you guys? Well, he had a 10.
Yeah, but like he was getting like every first down. It was annoying as shit.
5 or 75 is pretty good. Curious to see how they continue to use him.
Yeah.
Olave and McCaffrey. I don't know, man. I think they rest him. I think there's no reason to play him. I know that they're saying he could easily play. If I'm them knowing the way they utilize him, and by the way, I think there's gonna be a big time change when he comes back. I think they aren't going to utilize him as much. He's gonna get his touches are gonna go down a little bit. I think whenever he does come back. I'm gonna go Olave tomorrow night, catch some bombs for the fact that I think CMC is not gonna play, and if that doesn't, then he's gonna put Gus Edwards in there and Olave over Gus Edwards.
I'm gonna put Eli Mitchell in.
Ooh, would you really?
If CMC doesn't go
over Javonte?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Or, yeah. Or you put Olave at the receiver position, and then you just take out Zay Flowers. I don't know. But Amari Cooper and A.J. Brown, the real number 1 over there. George Pickens and Javonte Williams. I'm going to go Javonte Williams. I don't really buy the Pittsburgh Steelers offense at all. If I could cut Najee Harris, I would. I just don't want to buy any. I don't want to have any stock in that Pittsburgh offense. So it looks like Cobb's going to come in there and get that 3 and 4 spot. And I'm thinking blowout. I'm talking 137 to 108.
Oh, wow.
Cobb, baby.
I mean, you've always been anti-Adam. It's just yelling, dude. There's a lot of matchups in that I would not have given me the edge for. I appreciate the trust in my team. I think my team's close. They just need to get healthy. Tila, I'm a little worried about going in Saints defense. I'd probably give Tua the edge there. I'd probably give London the edge over Zay Flowers, even though I really like Zay Flowers. I'd be a lot happier if I had a healthy David Montgomery. But like they still haven't put him out. Like he's still getting like projections and stuff. So like he might only miss this week. I don't know. With his last injury, he only missed 1 game and then he came back and blew up. If he only misses 1 game with this injury, I'll take it. I don't really get it. I would have had the highest score this week too if he didn't get hurt. Would have been nice. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's going to come down to if McCaffrey plays or not. If McCaffrey plays, I think Adam definitely wins. If he doesn't, I think it's going to be close. But you have your take, and I hope you're right. But I think there's more of a chance that Philly-Miami is going to be a pretty high-scoring game, and he has A.J. Brown and Tua in that game. And, dude, he's projected a 120, and he has one of his defensive guys on bye. So I don't Yeah, I loves Adams' team.
They always do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope Deontay Johnson comes back too.
It's because they have McCaffrey with a 21. That's why. I mean, that's a ridiculous score.
I don't know, man. I think I would love to be 3-4. I'll be ecstatic if I get this win, but I kind of think Adams got this. I think it's going to be a 126 to like a 118. I'm worried about T-Law. And then the rest of my fill-in guys like Javante, I need to see some more from him. Zay Flowers has been key, just needs to get deeper targets, but I need to see my ceiling continue to be like I had a great week last week, but I need to see some more consistency for my team before I go all in.
I mean, I'm looking at your team right now. I mean, it's pretty fucking good team, man. You've just been fucked.
Yeah, if T-Law can do what I think he can do, pull this team together, we'll be in good shape. But I don't know if it's going to be this week.
I gotta say, you were so confident in T-Law when we had that bet during the offseason. You reminded yourself of some Latavius Murray bet that we had back in the day, and I was okay to make up for that. I'll let you pick any fucking bet, and I'll take the opposite of it. I even gave you this bet on the silver platter.
Let me choose. I think you can still do it, man. Again, it's like nothing I've seen on the field has really it's just not showing up fantasy wise, which obviously is all that matters at the end of the day. Every week he's been a toe tap away, inch away from, one, if not two more touchdowns each week. But how much longer can I keep doing the if stuff until it's a trend? So yeah, I think he can still do it. He has 7 touchdowns right now. He needs to get to 26. So he needs 19 more. It's a big task, but I think he can do it.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I mean,
yeah, some tough defenses though coming up.
It's gonna be tough, and that's the thing. Their defense, their division, as much as a shitty division it is, those games are always fucking just like awful. Like, games you don't even want to watch.
Yeah,
and it also makes it tough. You do own guys in fantasy. Like, dude, I have to watch the fucking Jags and Colts game or Jags and Texans game. No one wants to watch that game.
Yep.
So the next matchup, it's actually 2 guys on our flag football team, and at Yags at Alex. Take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I think I said we both kind of had the takeaway that the low scorer is kind of been locked up, and I think we'll all understand as we go through these matchups here why that is. Alex, though, having to start Josh Dobbs at quarterback is pretty gross. Unfortunate that Fields got hurt this week, the week that CJ Stroud is on bye. That's obviously why he's reaching out to other teams, trying to get a quarterback, trying to salvage, get a win. I don't even think he needs to. I think he can ride Dobbs and be fine. I do like the Love and Watson stack going against Denver. Denver's defense is awful. I'm going Jordan Love over Dobbs. And Jordan Love with Watson, if there's a week that they need to connect, it's this week, and that could help Yags a ton. Maybe break 90 if that happens. We'll see. Christian Watson against Marquise Hollywood Brown. I'm going to go Marquise Hollywood Brown. I mean, his targets have been off the chain. We were talking early in the season on this show that Alex needs to start him. He needs to stop sitting on the bench. Finally did it. Unfortunately, didn't have the best game, but he still got 11 targets. And, of course, Alex finds another way to get a stack here with Dobbs and Brown. That's a good bit. But I think Brown over Watson, just based off of what we've seen so far. And we still don't know how much Love is going to throw to Watson. There's still Dobbs there and Jaden Reed and Musgrave. So, I'll go Brown. Bijan against Gainwell. Holy shit, Yags. Like, oh, my God. Get a fucking running back, man. Going Bijan, easy. Don't even really need to talk about that one. Goddard versus Kincaid. We're going Goddard. I think Kincaid is he healthy? I got a full practice today. Nice.
Yeah, he's out of concussion protocol.
Yeah, until I see something, I'm gonna go Goddard. He hasn't had the most stellar season, but out of the tight end like wasteland that there is, you're gonna be okay with him. Eckler versus Devontae Adams. I'm going to go Devonta Adams. Eckler against your guys' defense is going to be rough. He didn't look good at all. Like he was running for his life in against Dallas. So I think it's going to be more of the same. Honestly, you guys probably have a better defense in Dallas at this point. Yeah. So like I'm going to go Devonta Adams there. Eckler has an 18 projected. I don't really know about that one. Still good. Like Eckler's great, obviously. Jacobs against Judy. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has looked okay. Last couple of weeks, Chicago's defense sucks. Judy hasn't done anything. He's been pretty disappointing. So going to easy Jacobs there. Curtis Samuel versus Sky Moore in one of the most gruesome matchups of the week. I'm going to go Curtis Samuel, I guess, right? He's been doing all right lately. Yeah, he's been looking pretty decent. Touchdowns help, but yeah, I'll go Curtis Samuel there since I haven't seen anything from Sky Moore. I don't even think Alex needs to make a move for a quarterback this week. I think he's going to have this one, even if I don't think he's going to score high. I think I'll give Alex like a 116. But Yags, I'm giving him an 85.
Yeah. He's going to be competing against himself every week as far as how many points he puts up. Yeah, I don't think Alex needs to make a trade. I declined his trade that he offered me already. Just now, actually. I was going to make a first ever counter on the BL on the Cobb and Dash show, but I was like, no. There's like nothing I want from his team, and he's not going to do anything I would offer anyway.
Yeah.
So better not to offer. It's a good lesson to all you guys out there.
Yeah.
Better if you think it's a ridiculous trade, don't offer it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at it, man, is Ahmed still at the backup? Did A-Chain's not coming back?
Not anytime soon.
Dude, I mean, I would keep A-Chain in there. Gainwell's done.
You mean Ahmed?
Yeah, I would keep Ahmed in there over Gainwell. Until A-Chain comes back.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Wilson's about to be back, but yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's right. Is he coming back this weekend?
I think he was just activated, or his like practice window was opened or something.
Well, yeah, he was supposed to come back last week. I
think they held him out another week.
Yeah, let me see. So Paul has him, or yep, okay. Opens week with full practice. Okay, he'll probably play this week then. Wilson's 21-day into return was open last Wednesday, but he remains sidelined. If Wilson activated from IR, he'll likely work as the primary backup to Mostert. Although I will say Ahmed, man, he didn't look that bad last week. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think this is really a game to even talk about that much. I think Alex wins like 116. Yeah, kind of what you said. 116 like 78. Like a kind of matchup that he'd lose to anybody else, pretty much.
Yep.
Okay, so the next matchup, I believe this is our last matchup. Yeah, it's the last one. It's a pretty big one, actually. We got playoff indications here with both these teams. ZB at actually, yeah, Tasia at ZB is our last matchup here. And keep in mind, the home team is always the team with the better record. Just want to give everybody that. That's the reason why we have the at. Okay, so we have 8 versus 9. So we got Tasia, who's on a tear right now, versus ZB, who's squeaking out some wins, man. He got some ugly wins. You look at his scores for his wins, man. Good defense.
Yeah.
That's what they preach up there in mid-Michigan. Good defense. So we got Geno Smith versus Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins at San Fran, or hosting San Fran in the Dome. Geno Smith versus Arizona. I'll take Geno Smith against Arizona. Arizona's kind of been pretty much like letting do whatever they want. Then you got Cooper Kupp, Calvin Ridley. Yeah, Cooper Kupp. I mean, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Swift, James Cook, DeAndre Swift. Wow, man, they're giving DeAndre Swift 14, man. DeAndre Swift finally looks like the running back that the Detroit Lions drafted to begin with, which is
looks good.
Yeah, he looks great. George Kittle, Darren Waller. Interesting that this is even a thing, because even though Kittle had 3 touchdowns last week or 2 weeks ago, he only had 3 catches. At least Waller gets looks, as consistent looks. And he actually has a nice little rapport with Tyrod. And I don't know if Tyrod going to be the quarterback this week again? Is Jones still out?
I think so, yeah.
If I'm them, I'm keeping with Tyrod until, like, I think all season, because I think Jones sucks, but they paid him so much money. Give me Waller in this one. I think he's consistently will get more targets than Kittle, unless they decide to go with him. But I'm going to go Waller this week. Kenneth Walker, Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin finally, it looks like that Baker likes throwing to him a lot now. He's starting 2 weeks in a row of double digits with Baker. He finally has kind of like a chemistry with him. Although Kenneth Walker is just, I mean, this dude's unbelievable. Watching him he's really fun to watch. I suggest put on Seattle Seahawks games for anybody who hasn't watched Kenneth Walker in a full game yet. But Kenneth Walker, I'm taking on this one. Alexander Madison and Rashad White. Rashad White gets a lot of touches, but he just doesn't do anything with his touches. And they're starting to dwindle. Every week, his the amount of touches he gets goes down and down and down. Alexander Madison somehow is still hanging on. And surprisingly, if you watch the Minnesota games, he does not look good. It's not fun to watch. But it's good fantasy production. I think he's got double digit in every game so far this season, besides week 2. Every other game he's gotten a double digit, which is pretty solid. I'm gonna go Madison over Rashad White, even though his projection's low. Michael Thomas and Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis finally had his first clunker of the season, or I think second clunker. Yeah, second clunker of the season. First game below double digits since week 1. Going against New England this week. Michael Thomas. He's just a solid guy every week, and you a 9 at your last flex. It's kind of what you want. Michael Thomas is a pretty good bye week flex. A guy who, gets in and get you 9. And I think I trust Michael Thomas more so than I trust Gabe Davis. So give me Michael Thomas. Give me Tasia with a lopsided victory, 135 to 120.
Yeah, not as lopsided as I thought you were going to go, honestly. ZB, I think I was a bigger fan of his team a few weeks ago than I am now. And I think he's one of the teams I think is kind of going the wrong way. I think, and on the other side, obviously, we talked at the beginning of the show about Tasia. I think Tasia gets this win, continues to show the league that he's not to be messed with. He's coming for those playoff spots, and he's going to get there sooner than I think a lot of people realize. I'm going to go Tasia here. I like your 135. I'll do 135, but I think it's going to be 135 to 110.
Damn. So you think it's a major blowout?
Yeah. He's got a lot of scores under 100 this year.
ZB?
Yeah.
Well, his points against, it's not how much are teams even scoring against him?
He has bottom 4 points against.
Oh, really? Okay, so teams are. I guess
but he also has by far the lowest points for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's with getting a 61 this week. Like it's.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, not good at all. All right, well, that does it for our Week 7 preview. So now we're going to go to, of course, our final topic, the Pancake King. And the Pancake King is brought to you by IHOP, the home of the stack. It's October. We're almost in November. We're getting really close to Turkey Bowl season. And what is the best thing to have with Turkey Bowl season? It's pancakes, specifically pumpkin pancakes. And, this is brought to you by IHOP, the home of the stack. All right, it's Pancake King rankings. Of course, this is the rankings to the run up to who will be the last seed this year, and they'll have to go to IHOP to do that. Okay, so we're gonna go 7. We're gonna go from 7 to 12 to rank the Pancake King for this week. So I'm gonna start, Cobb. I'll go. My 7th is the guy who actually is currently 7th. Is Barry's Last Wish. A guy who made a trade, getting rid of Joe Burrow after acquiring Joe Burrow at such a great draft pick. Yes, he got a first-round pick out of it. But now he's at a rut in his quarterback situation between Justin Fields and Josh Dobbs. Pretty awful. I mean, because that's the thing. And you got CJ Stroud, but like rookie, he could easily have a blunder second half of the season. Like he's looked okay so far. Like he can easily not be a guy, and that's a guy you can't really trust going into playoffs. So between Josh Dobbs, CJ Stroud, he's trying to get Jared Goff for me. You think I'm going to let a guy go to a team that could be in the playoffs? I'm not giving Goff away to anybody unless I get something key in return. I'm not going to trade him just for anything. I don't need depth. I have plenty of it. But looking at overall, the Hollywood Brown's been solid for him. Bijan, of course. Dallas Goedert's been terrible. Austin Eckler's been meh. Josh Jacobs has been meh. I mean, the team that he thought, and T. Higgins has been awful. The team that he thought he built was going to be somewhat key, and it just has not been that. I have him at 7, though. He's on a fringe of a playoff spot because he has enough pieces, enough guys who can be home run hitters at any given weekend to put him in the playoff spot, but he's not in the playoffs right now, and I foresee him being on the outside looking in, and that's where I have him right now, outside looking in, 7.
Yeah, my 7 is currently sitting at in the playoffs. But I have him falling just out, at least for the time being, is Paul. I think he has some decent pieces, but I think when we were doing his breakdown, there's not the guys that really can take him to the extra level, at least not that I see yet. We need to see that the stack didn't work out for Stu. We'll see if it works out for Paul any better. And then, like we say, like the 2 wide receivers from the same team, like we really haven't seen that much success when that happens. It's a lot of competition for targets, and I don't know. Doesn't make a ton of sense. Obviously, he's probably waiting for A-Chain to come back. But yeah, I think Paul still could very reasonably, and again, I think there's a lot of these teams that can very reasonably make the playoffs. I'm not seeing the ceiling there like I do with some of the other squads.
Yeah, my 8th spot is for Paul. The two having 2 receivers on the same team. Jalen Hurts does not look like MVP Jalen Hurts last year, or runner-up MVP, I think, last year. Devontae Smith looks awful. He looks like a number 2 receiver, which I thought he was going to be anyway. Pacheco's looked fine, but yeah, it's just not. It's not a team that's not going to win you a championship. That team is that's barely making the playoffs, and that's where I have them in 8th spot. I don't really like that team at all. There's not a lot. There's talk about not a lot of home run hitters. At least Alex has guys who can go off. There's no one who goes off on this team.
Yeah. So we're trading 7th and 8th spots. I have Alex at 8. So we're pretty in line with these teams, I think. I think Alex is super fortunate that he's playing Yags this week. Otherwise, I think it'd be a pretty significant loss to get him under 500. The thing keeping him below Paul is just his points per week haven't been anything that impressive. I think he's kind of gotten by with this roster, but hopefully his running backs are what I think is going to push him into the playoff spots. It's if Bijan gets back to what he was doing earlier in the season, if Eckler does the same, and if Jacobs looks like he did, like starts to kick it into gear like we've been seeing at least the last 2 games, or he'll be good. He'll win. He can win multiple weeks. It's just outside of that, I don't see a ton.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So my 9th spot is ZB. I only went ZB here because the guy who I was decide between him at 9 or him at 10. The other guy, he's kind of relying on one guy, and I don't really like teams that rely on one guy, especially when that one guy is injured right now, and we don't know how long he could be out for. But I like ZB's squad over the other person. So what I look at it is James Cook, they need to start relying on him a little bit more, and they haven't been for some weird reason. They just go away from him. It's kind of like the Mahomes thing where they just go into like throw mode. Like, dude, Pacheco's fucking getting like 5 yards carry. Continue to do that with him. James Cook, at some point they're going to need to rely on James Cook. And Chris Godwin's starting to get a little rhythm. Joe Mixon's starting. That Bengals offense is starting to look like it's in sync again. So Joe Mixon's getting into it again. Cousins throwing bombs to KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison. I like where this team's headed. This team's not in the playoffs, not going to be in the playoffs, but I like what they got cooking over there. There's some they got some James cooking going on, and I like it. I like it a lot better than the other team that was going to have it. that I was going to have with this. Oh, that's coming up actually after this. But Chris Godwin's starting to get a little bit immersed in the offense with Baker. Just trust there. Calvin Ridley, yeah, he's been a real disappointment based on everything that we were like, all the clips we saw at a camp. Like, dude, he's back. Like, he's back better than ever. I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, I just like this team better than the other teams. That's pretty much. I mean, there's not that I like it a lot much better, but I like it a little bit better.
Yeah, not bad. I have myself at 9.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, it's until I see consistency. I'm not going to put myself in the playoff spot. I really like my roster. I think I had some tough losses earlier in the season. But at the same time, I mean, I got kind of a fortunate win. So, like, some of them cancel out. But, yeah, I mean, until T-Law starts showing up in the fantasy world, like, again, I think he looks great. And it's just he hasn't needed to do too much. The Jaguars' offense looks good. They've, again, been very close to bigger games. But until T-Law solidifies himself, and then I start seeing a little bit more of separation for my starters, because right now I have to make these like tough lineup decisions every week, which I love my depth. I have a lot of good names, but like, Demon's hurt again, which sucks. But until I start getting separation from like Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Javonte Williams, like it's Zay Flowers, like it's a big mess I got to decide every week. And it's just like they're not. We were talking about people not having killers, like other than ETN. Until I start seeing more from my guys, I can't put myself much higher.
That's fair. Yeah, you were not the other person I was talking about. My 10 spot is.
You're talking about
who's my 10?
Talking about the guy I'm playing this week.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I got A Millie in my 10 spot. A Millie's too reliant on CMC. CMC may not play this week, and I think they're going to start to maybe yield back his touches a little bit. I don't think we're seeing. I don't think we're going to see the CMC we saw for the first 6 games of the season. I think they're going to win their division pretty easily. Talking about the 1 seed, I think they can still win that even with the loss against the Browns. Although I think the Browns stick a really good defense, so I think that's kind of like an outlier of a game. Tua, I don't buy. Whenever he plays a good defense, he shits the bed. Aaron Jones has not been healthy at all this year. I just read he hasn't logged a full practice session since week 1. And he's been dealing with the hamstring since week 1. Christian McCaffrey, he's already an injury-prone guy, and now we're talking about him getting injured right now. They're gonna start to reel in his touches a little bit. AJ Brown's been amazing since AJ Brown had a heart attack on the sideline with Jalen begging for the ball. He's been getting it a lot. He's proven he's the number 1 guy over there. And that's it. So, like, all of that being said, there's a lot going on with this team because he does. Outside of that, he doesn't have a tight end. Pickens sucks. Drake London's hit or miss, and I think it's more miss than hit. And I don't buy Tua when it comes to playing good defenses. And if you look at his stretch of games coming up here, he's got Kansas City in Germany. He's got New England. He's got Kansas City in Germany.
That's a Germany game. It's so random.
Yeah, well, Chiefs have a big Germany presence.
Yeah, but just Miami and the Chiefs. I don't know. It's weird.
Offense, maybe they wanted a high scoring game.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Although I think Tyreek Hill at Kansas City would have been a much better based on how much shit he's talked. Yeah. Vegas, that's an easy one. New York Jets, tough defense. Washington's a tough defense. Well, not this year. Tennessee's a tough defense. New York Jets again, tough defense. Dallas tough, and then Baltimore tough defense. So second half this season for him is not going to be easy by any means. He's been getting cupcake matchups, but yeah, I just think Adam is a team that's in the playoffs, scoring high right now. But once reality starts to set in, we're going to see him down here near the IHOP fellas.
Yeah, I mean you're sticking true to your anti-Adam narrative. So Adam is not in my Pancake King rankings, actually.
Surprising.
I mean, between Tua, I think Aaron Jones will be back to looking all right. CMC, AJ Brown, and potentially Drake London coming into. He has more names than some people. Like those guys' ceilings are a lot higher than the best players on other teams, which is what kept Adam barely out of my Pancake King.
I just don't know. I think at what point does production outweigh names? Because I mean,
We'll see.
there are a lot of names here, but there's not a lot of production.
We'll see when Aaron Jones comes, like when he plays. That'll be. But I mean, CMC's been living up to his name. AJ Brown has. Drake London started to. Tua's until I see Tua fall off. Like I hope he does. Fuck the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But no, I think it's a fair pick. He was barely in my outside of it, so I can see it. And hopefully I can get that dub on him this week. Hopefully your prediction comes right. We'll see. But my 10 spot here is ZB. So again, it's a team that I'm just starting to slowly fade away from. I was a big James Cook and Calvin Ridley fan, and Calvin, like you said, Calvin Ridley just hasn't been it. He hasn't needed to be it, I guess. He's getting like pretty close, like good targets, and he's been one of those guys that could have had bigger weeks if it weren't for like a foot out of bounds, like barely out of bounds a few times. But again, until I see something, he's not like that dominant wide receiver one that everyone thought he was going to be after week one. James Cook looks awesome, but they go away from him way too much and way too easily. They like giving the ball to Latavius Murray a lot. ZB's got to be very happy that Leonard Fournette did not end up going to the Bills, because I heard that was he was supposed to go there and there was a really high likelihood that would have been disastrous. But then it's just like the rest of his team is a lot of men. Like Gabe Davis has started to look okay. He had a down week last week, but like he's a decent flex. Rashad White sucks. I hate Rashad White. I have not liked him since before the season. Chris Godwin, yeah, you said he's started to come into it. It's a decent flex. Jordan Addison's on his bench. I like Jordan Addison. But yeah, it's just like I don't really see that high of a ceiling with this team. Unfortunately, I think they're built for the future. They have some decent young talent. It's just when compared to other teams, I just don't see a ceiling for them.
All right, so my 11th spot, this is the Pancake King runner-up, is the guy who was in the Pancake King spot, but then a lot of stuff happened this week with another team that I was forced. I had no choice to do what I had to do, but my 11th spot here is Z-Tizzle, the ZT. ZT, I mean, what can we say about this squad? Just underwhelming after underwhelming after underwhelming. Every season, the guy's not making any moves. He's adamant that this team that he's built is like you know what he is? He's the GM that you have of a team that you root for. It's like, dude, it's the same fucking team every year. When's he gonna make a goddamn move? We can't just like continue to settle at this average mediocrity every year. But like, no, what he says goes. He feels that this is the team that he built to win it, and fucking for better or for worse, this is the squad you're gonna get on draft day. This is the squad you're gonna get come end of the season when you're potentially eating pancakes at IHOP. And that's it. I mean, this is it. Gibbs, he whiffed on. I think we did a little bit of the mock draft. We should do that. We should actually do an end of the season mock draft of redraft.
Yeah.
Gibbs would not be a top 3 round pick. He would be a 4th round pick, and he'd be getting a key keeper in the 4th round. And quite frankly, I think we've gone away from what it should be. Some of these rookies should be good value keeps in rounds 4. Fucking reaching on Gibbs. Yes, no one knew this was going to happen, but like they brought in Demont. Demont's more of a bell cow running back. Gibbs has never been a bell cow guy. So we should have seen the writing on the wall there with how we're going to use him. But anyway, Gibbs has been awful. Roshan Johnson, I mean, Michael Pittman's been one of the best guys he's drafted. He's had a really superb year. Going to be interesting to see how he's utilized with the Minshew going forward. 17 with him last week. Jonnu Smith, he lucked in, picking him up. He's actually been I think he's a top 10 tight end, actually. Ramadre, been underwhelming. St. Brown's been key. But overall, man, this team is just not a team that's going to compete for anything. Especially, and I think the thing that makes me the most mad is the fact that he's like so unwilling to make any moves. Off season, he makes off the wall like wacky trades, but during the year, he just like goes so vanilla and so plain. He just doesn't want to do anything, which I respect. I respect the grind. He likes mediocrity. He likes not being able to be dogged for being like the worst team. And it looks like he'll probably, even though he has 1 win right now, I don't think he's going to be the worst team. I think he probably saw Yaglu's squad. He's like, you know what? Worst case, I'm not going to be the Pancake King, which is fine, and I'll take that. But yeah, that's ZT, he's very lucky that Yaglu started 2 inactive guys and paid the $10 for both the inactive fee. That's terrible, though, man.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Was also forced to put ZT here at 11. He's lucky that we have an owner that didn't have a lot of draft capital, couldn't really build a formidable team, and somehow still managed to make it worse. But again, like ZT, but I think, like you said, like, I mean, I guess we'll get to it. ZT should be scared about eating some pancakes right now, because technically, with how things are going to shape up, he's in last. He's top of the totem pole for eating those pancakes. Yeah, it's just like you mentioned Jonnu Smith, like lucky, but like how long is that going to last? Like, are you really comfortable with Jonnu Smith being your tight end? Probably not. It's just a lot of everything I said about the previous ones of why they're in the pancake rankings is said twice for ZT. It's just the ceiling is just not there right now. Mondre, great talent. I said going into the season that it probably wasn't going to be good just based off of how bad our offense is going to be, and Zeke's going to be used more, which happened. Amon-Ra's great. Lamar needs to do something, but yeah, it's just a rough squad, and ZT is giving it one more week, and that week is this week when he's playing the number 1 team in the league right now. It's a rough one. He's probably going to be facing 1-6, and at that point, is it going to be too late to ship off some of these guys that have some decent value? He missed it already with pick trading, but yeah. It's just I'm kind of tired of talking about the same storyline with ZT. I'd like to see him make some moves.
Every year, the same thing.
Yeah,
he needs to get off Amon-Ra. I'll throw him a package of stuff.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I'll throw him some Najee and a DJ Moore action.
Yeah. Yeah.
So lastly, we have our Pancake King, and I think everyone already knows who that is.
You are the Pancake King, young and sweet, hiding fan of thieves. Ooh, see that boy, watch that taste, digging the Pancake King.
Such a good tune.
I think the funniest part about that song is that like it tries to be a parody and like it diversifies or like goes away from the actual lyrics of the song, but then it kind of like goes back to the same lyrics.
Yeah.
Boy, and then it's just watch that taste or whatever.
Well, when I first found it online, I listened to a bunch of Pancake Kings. There's actually a bunch of different songs, but I thought this one was the funniest because it took the ABBA song, and then it's also about a boy. And I was like, okay, this is perfect for. But yeah, I have Michael Yaglu here. He has the lowest points score in a single week. He actually has also, funnily enough, he also has a one high week score this year too. But he started 2 inactive guys last year. He had to pay a $10 fee because he started 2 guys at 5.5. He doesn't have a running back on the squad. He traded Tyreek Hill, probably the most valuable player this year, fantasy wise, for Justin Jefferson, who's out for the next 3 weeks and might be shut down for the rest of the season. He could have gotten a running back in that trade, and he didn't, which I don't understand why he didn't. But yeah, Yaglu is by far he's the Pancake King, and luckily for him, this can be we can pose it up to him. He can do the Pancake King challenge if he wants to, but we said he didn't have to because he inherited a bad team with no picks on it. But he might be. I think there's a good shot that he'll be chugging a lot almost every week, and there's a good shot that he could be the Pancake King. So yeah, Yaglu. That's it.
Yeah, mine is also Yags. It's everything you said. I don't know how he didn't get a running back trading Tyreek Hill. It was definitely a learning experience. Hopefully this year is a learning experience. Not starting 2 people, even though it was against me, I did benefit. I would have won anyways. It's unfortunate to see. We expect better. Everyone deserves better, I think. So I hope Yags took that as a lesson and can salvage some competitiveness. I know it was already tough to begin with, but he made it harder trading away Tyreek Hill. If I'm him, I'm trading away my like Devontae Adams, Christian Watson. Dude, I might even ship off Jefferson to someone else. Like, I don't know. Make it competitive. Make it a competitive like team. I don't know. It's just right now. It's just like guaranteed low score. It's just boring.
Well, he's already packed it in for next year as far as building assets for next year. He's not gonna trade Jefferson.
I know.
He'll
Frustrating.
trade Devontae for something, I bet.
Yeah, probably. Maybe I'll. Yeah, actual talk. Maybe I'll take a move.
I hope this kid fucking learns from these. You know, it actually be a good test. Even if you are going to do a deal with him, offer him something that's like outrageous, and then let's see if he actually like comes to other people in the league to see, hey, like, should I do this, or he just does the fucking trade and then says, yeah, you're not going to like this one, and then sends it to me. Like, dude, what? If you're already prefacing your trade by saying I'm not going to like it, then why the fuck did you do it?
Yeah, it sounded like he had some people in his ear that he shouldn't have been going to.
Yeah. Actually true.
Yeah, but Yags, we'll see you next year, I guess. I hope you're not having to do a chug for the final, what is it, like 7 weeks?
It's a long time.
Yeah, so because that would just be no fun. But yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Yags. Okay, so our final topic. Our final segment is our Berries and motivational squeeze. Of course, paying homage to the late great Marcus Berry, who's no longer with us in the fantasy league. He left us for worse things. Also, this segment is also sponsored by Marcus Berry Fitness. Contact Marcus Berry if you want to get fit for this Halloween season and or wedding season for some of us. That's Marcus Berry Fitness. Okay, so now we're going to go to Berry's Motivational Squeeze, where we will give our piece of advice to someone in this league who really needs it at such a pivotal point of the season.
This is why you're fucking holding back, and I'm tired of the BS.
So my person I'm going to give my motivational squeeze to this week is my guy Yaglu. Pretty easy, actually. Just fucking start your lineup. Look and see at before noon if you have a guy who's unquestionable before noon to see if he's going to play or not, and then if he's not playing, put a fucking guy who's going to start. I mean, this is just common sense stuff. I shouldn't have to say this to you. I told you about the stakes in this league. You listened. You said you were all down about it. You love the fact you were going to be in such a competitive league. You never been in one like this before, and you wanted to be in it. Be in it. You already did an awful trade this week with Hodge. Okay, that's fine. Show the whole league that you're here to stay. You're trying to build something special. Start your fucking lineup at the least. If you want to punt the season to go to next year and that you have all your draft picks plus some, that's fine. But come on, man. What are we doing here? This is a respectful league. This is probably one of the best leagues that exists out there. Okay, I'm not even just saying that because it's my league, but like this is this is the mecca. Hodge has like 4 other leagues, and he says this is the league he wants to win every year. Roden, same thing. That guy's got 1 championship under his belt. He's been to 3 championships altogether. These are people who want to win this league. And Yaglu, dude, come on. All you got to do is start your lineups. If you want to field an awful team, that's on you. But let's reel in a little bit. I don't want to see you drinking chugging every week. I want to see you winning and getting some dubs. So I can say, look, see, guy traded away Tyreek Hill. We got Justin Jefferson. He's building something over there, something special. Like Arizona Cardinals of this year, but make that be you, dude. Be a team that no one expects to get some dubs out of and pull off some. I don't expect you to go to the playoffs this year, obviously, because you got rid of Tyreek Hill. But and you had no draft picks. Let's pull up some dubs. Let's get some upsets here, man. Let's shake up everything. All right, just start your lineup. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm in an interesting spot because I was gonna potentially do Yags. You got him. He doesn't need any more motivation from us. I had previously motivated this guy or ZT. I'm not gonna say this guy because I'm not motivating him this week because 2 times I motivated him, 2 times he lost. I'm now off the board. I'm done motivating. If you're not going to take my advice, if you're not going to take my motivation, we're going to see go somewhere else. So I had to dig a little deep. And I'm going to choose a guy that I think has been getting a lot of slack for the preseason trades. He hasn't had the season that I think he thought he was going to have, and that everyone expected after these preseason and current season trades. I think he's been on the winning side of multiple trades. That's Alex. He had a really rough week last week. If Yags had started people, maybe, and still had Tyreek Hill, actually, like he probably would have been a low scorer this last week. They're sitting at 3-3. The point total isn't looking the best, but now you have your three, what you built your team around. That was three-headed running backs. You got Bijan that fell to you because Hasha Kelsey. You got Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, and then if your team starts getting healthy, you have a good lineup. You definitely should be in playoff contention with those three running backs alone. So keep your head up. Rough week, lost last week. I think it's been win-loss all season. Let's get a streak started this week.
You'll have to do that without a quarterback. So
yeah, he plays Yags though. I think that's kind of fate. Get kicking him in the right spot. So.
Yeah, so it's your motivational squeeze versus my motivational squeeze. I think yours is going to win. All mine has to do is start his lineup, and he wins pregame.
I need to get back on the winning side. All my motivational squeezes have won except for ZT twice. So let's get him back on the win column.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. Thanks for tuning into the Cobb and Dash Show, your Week 7 preview, your Week 6 recap. We hope everyone has a good weekend, and we want to give a shout-out to Matt Hotch, who's getting married this week. Yeah, man, I can't wait to celebrate the good times with you, get drunk with you. It's going to be a good time. And I also, in the spirit of wedding season, I also got one of our members in the league, ZB's, save the date in the mail today for his wedding in May next year. Your boy's going to be up there with him. One of the groomsmen in that wedding, so that'll be key. But, yeah, it's wedding season for a lot of the guys in the league. Yeah, it's key. Good for all you guys. I'm glad all you guys found someone who can accept you. Accept your degenerate ways, and by God, we love them. So we're glad they love them too. You got anything to say about Hotch and anybody?
Yeah. Once again, congrats on the wedding. Again, I wish you're not going to see this, but wish you could be there. Dash, you, Roden, obviously have a great time. Send pictures our way. Send pictures to the league. It's always nice to see league mates get together outside of league, especially with such a big event, such a big staple in someone's life, like marriage is. So yeah. It's important for the camaraderie. It's important for everyone involved. So have a great time.
Couldn't agree more with you, buddy. All right, guys. Well, we hope everyone enjoys the show, and we'll see you guys next week. Good luck to everyone this weekend.